So many different aspects to that. What did you make of it?
Eventful, exciting, like you said. Both teams scoring from a set piece. In my opinion, Arsenal first team better than us. I was of course not happy to concede just before half time, but I think if you look at the first half, they maybe deserve to be one up. But what pleased me a lot was we had one time less to prepare this game, so one time less to recover. We had to fly. And then if I look how strong we were in the second half, physique, and also the ones that came in, that pleased me most. And being 2 times down in this stadium and still get a point is a good thing, I think.
So you said before the match that set pieces would be key. With the goal you scored, the set piece you scored, had you spotted anything maybe from the Bournemouth game last week, or the fact they didn't have Saliba?
No, because I didn't think our set piece was any similar to the one from Bournemouth.
Not a little bit with a near post flick, no?
If I remember correctly, yeah, but he played it back towards the 12-yard.
Yeah. Look, you know more than me.
Yeah, no, but it's a good thing that if you play against Arsenal, normally you lose the battle of set pieces. Today we didn't lose that one because we both scored one. And like I just said, I think first half was theirs. Second half, maybe I wasn't completely surprised that we scored a goal, the equaliser, the second half. Let's put it that way.
So, if the first half was theirs, what did you say to your players at half time? Maybe what did you change?
Actually, what we always talk about, it's mostly about, okay, how do they press us and where can we find a free player in the midfield? How can we open that up and how can we press them a bit better? Because I think that wasn't perfect in the first half. And what helped us, in my opinion, as well, is the players that came in gave us also some new energy, and the ones that kept in the team were able, and they played already during the week, to keep going and keep fighting for a result, and that is what pleased me most in the end.
So what do you think happened second half? And what I mean by that is, do you think they sat off and tried to play on transition? Do you think you started winning more duels? Do you think you forced them back? Why did the game take a different turn? Yeah,
that's always difficult to tell you so immediately after the game, but in general in football it's not that weird that if one team is up that the other team is pushing a bit more. This is what happened also with us last week against Chelsea. I think after we went 2-1 up, we were also trying to defend our lead, and maybe we take a bit more risk. I don't know. What pleased me, I said it many times now, is that after having 1 day less to recover, still coming out here and being 2 times behind and then have so much energy to get the equaliser. And afterwards, both teams kept on going for a result. I think that's why we saw a good game today.
So after a really good start, I think the one thing that was thrown at you was a few people say, oh, look, it's been an easy start. The fixture list has been kind. But now you've had the week you've beaten Chelsea, you've won in Leipzig, you've come here and got a result. So what have you learned during a week of really big challenges?
What surprises me is that people say we had an easy start, because everyone that has worked in the Premier League or is still working there, everybody is telling me before I came here, there is no easy game in the Premier League.
And then all of a sudden there is.
Now all of a sudden there are many easy games. But I agree with what the people say. We faced more than a few teams that are bottom league table. And we faced with Man United and Chelsea, 2 top clubs, and today with Arsenal, the third one. So yeah, it's good to see where we are at this moment in time, not only when it comes to results, but also the way we play.
Thank you for your time. Well done.
You're welcome.
Liverpool were beaten here in February 3-1 by Arsenal. Is this evidence, Jamie, that Liverpool are getting better under this manager?
Well, listen, Liverpool were in the title race, and I think Liverpool were top of the league. I think we're probably 6 or 7 games to go. There's still a long way to go to see if Liverpool are in that position. So I wouldn't say they're better, I'd say they're different. They're certainly better defensively when you look at the numbers sort of, this season. I think Liverpool came here twice last year, once in the FA Cup. Won here, I think, 2-0, but got absolutely battered in the first half. Arsenal should have won the game. Arsenal beat them, I think, in the league 3-1. So, created a lot of chances. That wasn't the sort of the game that we watched today. That's probably something a little bit around Arsenal, where they're going. We maybe get to that shortly. But from Liverpool's point of view, the big change this season is defensively. They look a solid unit. Well, I think this season they've been the best defensively in the Premier League, and that's a big difference from what we saw last season.
Do you think being better defensively, Broy, is more likely to take you to the big prizes?
Yeah, of course. Well, you have to have the defend properly, and you know with people like Salah, you've always got a chance of scoring goals. And there's definitely a calmness to Liverpool, even. And obviously that comes from the manager. He speaks very well. And even when they were 2-1 down today, they didn't seem to panic. Obviously a lot of belief, and that would come from confidence of winning football matches. I know we'll argue all day about, obviously, have they been really tested yet, but they've turned up. But the one real big disappointment, I suppose, the Forest game, when they got beaten at home, which we know can happen if you're not at your best. But generally speaking, they look a strong, efficient team. You got world-class players like Salah, you have a chance to win football matches. And remember, they were missing their goalkeeper. Keller's done one in the last month or two, so they've had their 1 or 2 setbacks as well with injuries themselves. We've been discussing Arsenal for last week about all their problems, but Arsenal had 1 or 2 players missing. I mean, Liverpool had 1 or 2 players missing, but they've turned up today. And again, the manager said that a couple of weeks ago, when they keep turning up. That gives you a chance to win football matches.
I think Alex Ferguson always says you can see the personality of a manager in his team. So we saw that for 7 years with Klopp. Klopp is just this big, huge personality, energetic, and that was the team. When you see Arne Slot interviewed, it's just calm, reserved, doesn't get sort of too carried away, whether you're winning or losing. And as Roy just said, that you see it on the pitch. It's a lot more controlled, Liverpool, so it's not end-to-end. They're not having to deal with counter-attacks as much. And that's why they're better defensively. I don't think it's necessarily that he's a defensive manager or he's brought in better... Are you all right there?
Sorry, yeah.
I don't want to turn it on really
I just wanted to ask yourself, actually, do you feel like they miss that Klopp intensity at times when they really want to go for playing? At times they just lack that intensity. Do you think, like you say, with the calmness of Klopp?
Every manager's have to balance between the defence and attack. So that intensity that we're talking about, Jurgen Klopp, might maybe create more chances and lift the crowd more at Anfield. But what you lose is maybe going the other way. This is maybe not as much going the other way, pressing really high, winning the ball back, lifting the crowd, all the big atmosphere. But you're better defensively. That's what it's about, trying to get the balance.
Do you think, Theo, that dressing rooms respond in a different way to those different kind of emotive managers, whether it is the sort of the tub thumping of Jurgen Klopp or the quiet calmness of Arne Slot?
Yeah, I've got to agree. The teams are a reflection of managers at times, and we're seeing a different side of Mikel Arteta in this moment in time, from an Arsenal perspective, where we want to keep hold of what we've got and be defensive-minded. And I'm just worried that we're going to lose that free-flowing sort of football that Arsenal have known for doing from the Arsene Wenger eras. And, when I was playing as well, don't go away from what you're good at. And what Arsenal are good at times is dominating higher up the field. And I just don't want them to get into habits of holding on to things when they can put teams to the sword, particularly when the likes of Liverpool are challenging, because they are definitely here to stay.
I don't think they're getting into bad habits. I think that's an instruction for the manager. This has been going on now, I would say, for about 12 months. What?
We're going to come to that in a minute.
Oh, come on. Okay.
Because I want to hear from Mikel Arteta,
Sorry.
having been tested for the first time today. Before that, never know when he might be ready to reveal all. You just have to check and just have to ask. Might they feel, Roy, the way the game ebbed and flowed and having got back at 2-2, that they might have gone on to win it?
Yeah, well, you thought the momentum was with them towards the end, and obviously they were on the front foot. But when you're 2-1 down, and we know how good Arsenal are, particularly defensively, I think Liverpool certainly will be more satisfied with the draw, maybe more so than Arsenal.
A lot of talk in the build-up to this game about the number of injuries that Arsenal have had, which Virgil van Dijk's obviously heard about and referenced then.
He's right. I mean, Arsenal weren't missing many of their starting players today. But like I alluded to at the start of the game, this was an opportunity for Liverpool to show exactly what they're made of. And what I found disappointing, like you, was the lack of the intensity when they had Arsenal on the ropes. Arsenal were dropping back. They allowed the pressure. They were quite happy to sit in and take the 2-1 because they are now rigid in certain ways. And that's the bit I don't want Arsenal to lose, is that freedom when they are winning to put teams to the sword. They just didn't quite do that. Didn't do enough to win the game today. But Liverpool as well, the same sort of story for themselves.
Well, let's assess the mood in the Arsenal dressing room, because Bukayo Saka, back today as captain, and with the first goal of the game as well, is with Patrick Davison.
Well, Bukayo, what's the mood in that Arsenal dressing room you've just walked out of?
It's a bit disappointed. Credit to Liverpool, they're a good team, but we just feel like we didn't show our best selves for the full 90 minutes.
So that's an interesting one. What do you particularly mean? Second half, you weren't at your best, got sort of penned in a little bit?
Yeah, 100%. I think first half we showed our qualities, we dominated, we gave them nothing. They only scored from a set piece. I don't think they had another chance. I can't remember one, but second half, yeah, we sunk back a bit, and we weren't at our best.
Yeah. So why did it change?
I don't know. I just feel maybe Liverpool started to have more momentum. They won more duels than us. They kept possession more than us, and then naturally, the momentum goes to them, and we have to defend more.
Do you think losing Gabriel has like a big psychological impact, especially with the players you're without already?
Yeah, of course, he's a big player for us, but that's not an excuse. We have to adapt, and we have to do our best, whoever's on the pitch.
You got a great goal. How determined, after missing a couple, you don't miss many games, how determined were you to come back and have an impact today?
Yeah, I hate missing games, and it was really frustrating to be on the side watching. But I just had this game in my mind that I would do everything I can to come back for this game, and I was happy to be back out there today.
Can you talk us through it?
Through what?
Your goal, lovely little nutmeg, and then I think the keeper thinks you go in far post and you sort of reverse it back near.
Yeah, I tried to keep the keepers guessing. I think it was a nice finish. I haven't seen it back, but it felt nice.
And I'm guessing you know this, but you're the youngest Arsenal player to 50 Premier League goals, beating a record set by a certain Thierry Henry. I know, you've not won the game, so you don't feel great now, but as time goes by, that'll come to mean a lot, right?
Yeah, he has every record, Thierry Henry, so it's nice. But of course, you want to win the game, but I have to be happy with this.
Yeah. Did I see a little something of Thierry in the celebration as well? There was that little kind of shrug. It looked a bit Thierry Henry-ish, I thought.
Everything is Thierry Henry-ish. If you score, it's Thierry Henry. If you assist, it's Thierry Henry. So, yeah. And
you come off towards the end. How are you feeling physically?
No, I'm feeling good. I thought I could finish the game, but obviously the gaffer took me off. But I felt good.
Well, hopefully this will make you feel a bit better. You're the player of the match. Well played.
Thank you, Pat. Appreciate it, man.
Well done, both. Thank you.
He worked hard for it. He's put in a lot of sweat into that performance, hasn't he? Having been out of action for a long time, you've almost from the Liverpool perspective, Jamie, feared his threat against Andy Robertson before the game.
Yeah, I felt the full-back positions for both teams could potentially be a problem, and Liverpool's fared worse than Arsenal's. But listen, Andy Robertson's doing all he can. We're talking about one of the best right-sided players in European football. And as a defender, you look at it, can you do better? But he is amazing. And that is a brilliant goal. To control that through the legs so sharp, and then to give the goalkeeper the eyes, lift it high into the net. Listen, we're talking about Virgil van Dijk. I mean, if I'm being honest, I think it's more Andy Robertson than Virgil van Dijk. I like to see Virgil van Dijk sprint back, but how quick he gets the shot. I'm not sure Van Dijk would have got back, but he'd been a lot closer. Of course, he would have been if he just sprinted back. But I just think the situation now, he was actually looking to see where the strikers were, maybe for a pullback. But I think when you're probably playing against a player like Saka, you've probably got to double up. And Andy Robertson needs a lot more help, not just in that situation, but throughout the game.
I think just your instinct with Van Dijk there, when it does go over his head, is always, as we said, particularly for defenders, expect the worst. Expect him to come back in. But again, he's just ambling back. I just think when it goes over your head, it's grown to your instinct is to sprint. He's not sprinting. And Robertson's got to do better. He obviously gets cut out here, which is fine. You have a chance to make up for it by saying he's not going to get back inside, which he does. Bit of skill, brilliant. Van Dijk's I think he's still got to sprint.
You've got to recognise danger, haven't you, as a defender? You moved pretty quickly the other day, didn't you? Like sprinting.
In the mascot suit.
But I want to see people. There's a lot of players switching off at this moment. Expecting someone else to do their job.
Expect the worst always.
I've seen Van Dijk in a Liverpool shirt now. How long has he been there? About 6 or 7 years. I probably think I can count on one hand how many times I've seen him sprint. He plays the game sort of slow motion, the way he moves. He always seems to get there, but at times that's probably the one thing you could sort of say to him. Now and again, could he have a little bit more intensity?
And it did feel at the other side that Konate was helping out Trent Alexander-Arnold quite a lot in the game.
Konate was fantastic. Honestly, he was Liverpool's best player by a mile. How much he stopped down that side, coming across. And probably that situation we're talking about, Konate's natural reaction is to get across. He's probably told it's going to happen a lot more because you've got Trent on that side. He goes into midfield. So he's actually picked and was bought for Liverpool because he was playing behind Trent Alexander-Arnold. He almost finds himself as a centre-back and a right-back at times in the game.
Well, let's have a moment of appreciation for Bukayo Saka. You heard the statistic there about him being the youngest to 50 goals. Theo, he's edged you by just the 3 years.
Only 3 years, goodness
me.
Okay.
But there is the phenomenon, because, I mean, OK, you started young, but others did as well. This is a young man who delivers consistently over and over again, to the point that at 23, is it far-fetched to say, if he plays, you think Arsenal have got a chance in a game?
I think, yeah, without a question. But I think the disappointment, you can feel that in his interview there. I think he wanted more players to get up the field with him, and he couldn't really express himself like he did in the first half. Most of the Arsenal setup, I would say, So that would be the only disappointment on my side of it. But for him, Arsenal was such a better team when he's in it because he causes all sorts of problems for everyone, and it's without question.
All the brilliant players affect games, and that's what he does. Again, when you watch it, there's no surprise when you see him doing that level of skill, the finish. I think his kind of interview, what I came across there was, I got the impression he was disappointed of you're 2-1 up, you're Arsenal home, and I'm starting to worry about this Arsenal mentality now. You're 2-1 up, and I'm still looking, go on and try and win the game. But there's elements of Arsenal now, and it's happened most of the season when they get themselves in front. I don't mind excuses about injuries or when they're the 10 men. They all seem to sit back in as if we're setting for 2-1. We try and get something on a set piece instead of going, go and get the third goal. Because Liverpool were there for the taking if they wanted to go for it. But it was almost, let's hope we can win 2-1. And then when you're up against good players like Salah, then they're good enough to punish you.
We'll come to get something from the game under slot. Still just one defeat in all competitions.
Yeah, I think when they pick the bones out of the performance, there'll be plenty of things that he'll look back on thinking we could have done better there. So when you haven't played to your best of your ability, then you take what you can out of the game. And we said before the game, the important thing is if you can't win the game, don't get beat. Yeah. And Liverpool came back twice. And I think they deserved the point. And I said I don't think both teams did enough to take all 3 points. So and I think when both teams look at it, they'll think it was a fair result as well.
Yeah, I think so. It's a hard place to go, isn't it? As we mentioned, Liverpool have played Chelsea, then they've gone to Leipzig, got a really good result. They've got 4 out of 6 against really good London opposition in Chelsea and in Arsenal. A hard week, so they'll be pleased to get back home.
OK, let's speak to the Liverpool captain live at the Emirates Stadium. Virgil van Dijk, of course, got that first equaliser. Virgil, thanks for joining us. I guess when you've been behind twice at the Emirates, you take 2-2?
Well, you know, we came here to win, and obviously to come behind twice and come back is a positive thing. I think the second half, I think we kept pushing and deserved the equaliser. But at the end of the day, it's a fair result, I think. Big battle for both teams, and it was hard out there, but obviously for both teams. And I think it was the intensity of pressing and obviously first half they had the momentum, especially after the second goal, and obviously the second half was clear. Our intensity was much better and higher.
Yeah, I was going to say, what was the difference second half from your point of view? Much better.
We kept the ball a little bit longer. We could get more possession, grow into the game a little bit more, let them run a little bit more, and obviously in the end of the day they get tired as well, and gaps will open up. You know, at times they want to press you in 1v1 situations, and it's never easy to run all over the pitch and follow your man, especially when you're getting tired. So we had to keep playing. We had to try and be very secure with the ball and don't give easy passes away, because obviously we all know that they have the quality to hurt you on the break.
Virgil, it's Maka. How is everybody feeling within the camp? A lot of intensive games, you know, in such a short space of time.
Fine. Listen, obviously it's like you said, but for everyone is the case. All the teams that we playing so many games, and you know, now we travel back, we home late night, and then on Tuesday we travel to Brighton and then play Brighton, and on midnight we back, and then Thursday we have a recovery session. Friday we back training -1. Saturday play Brighton again. Obviously I don't complain whatsoever, but we have to look after ourselves, and today was a big battle. We're gonna recover now and take a lot of good points from today, and also a lot of things that we have to improve, because obviously we're striving for perfection. We all know that's almost impossible, but we keep trying, and let's see where it brings us.
Virgil, hi, Alan Shearer. Well done today. Can you give us an opening into your mind in terms of your mindset when you're defending those set pieces that Arsenal are so good at, particularly with the quality they've got on delivery? Is it a case of trying to be as brave as possible and holding that line? I mean, you got caught by a matter of centimetres, really, with a great ball in the head of that Merino got done. But is it trying to hold it as long as possible and be brave?
Yeah, well, listen, you know, we all seen over this season and last season how good they can be in set pieces. But it starts with not giving silly fouls away. I think it was a couple of times, and maybe it wasn't a foul, but obviously the ref gave it a couple of times, and then you know, give them the opportunity to put those crosses in, and yeah, like you said, obviously with the goal, it's like centimetre where I think if I jump a little bit higher, obviously it's possible I could flicked it away. But listen, I think they were also vulnerable in set pieces, and we showed that as well today. So obviously it's a big part of football, and they are doing a very good job with it. So. Yeah, fair play.
Yeah. Well done for coming back. Really appreciate you joining us. Thank you,
Virgil. Nice one, Virgil.
Thanks. Ian, no question yet, Ian?
No, because they didn't give me no time for one, Virg.
Go on, ask a quick one, right?
There's always time for you.
Ask a quick one.
Go on,
No, I was just going to say, Virg, you look great.
You do, man. How's your knee?
You know what, Virg, it's getting there. But, like, you know...
Mo Salah made it worse. Put it that way, Virgil.
Virgil, he's got it on the stool here. He's got it on the stool with cushions and everything.
I just want to say, well done, Virg. You lot have started well. People talking about how easy the start's been for Liverpool, but you have to make it look easy. I was hoping you lot wouldn't win today, but you done it again. You came back and done your stuff. So, well done, Virg. I'll see you soon.
Thank you very much, Ian. See you soon, man.
God bless you.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, Virgil. Thank you very much indeed. What a caring Liverpool captain asking about your knees.
I know. Virg, I love Virg, and you know what I mean? You can't just blank me like that when Virg is on there.
No.
They blank me. Thank you very much.
I can't believe
it wasn't you, Steve. I heard him.
Thank you, right.
Who was it?
It wasn't Steve.
Who was it?
It wasn't
Hobbs. Who was it? Hobbsy. Righty wants a question.
Yeah. He didn't blank Alan because he's a Newcastle fan.
I know.
Right, we're going to get some Arsenal reaction very shortly, indeed. Will Liverpool be slightly happier than Arsenal? You can hear Virgil's delight at coming back there.
I think so, yeah. Because, again, like they've started very well. People are talking about this is the game to find out what Liverpool are about because their start has been so-called easy. But I think that they'll probably be disappointed with the fact that there's a few of their players who didn't play as well as they know they can play. But other than that, you can come to Arsenal and get a draw. You've got to be happy with that.
Right, in my ear, they want to put it right. So we're going to speak to Mikel Merino, who scored his first goal for Arsenal.
Nice one, Mikel.
And Ian Wright, you can open it up. Go on, you can speak to Mikel Merino.
Mikel, congratulations on your first goal for the club. I just wanted to ask you, how was that? How did you find that game in respect of such an important game against such a big team?
Well, hi everyone. It's an honor to be talking to you. First of all, thank you very much for the congratulations. It was a tough game, to be honest, against a huge rival at home. It was an amazing atmosphere. You could sense that it was a massive game for the club and for the players. A little butterflies in the stomach, to be honest. My first start at home. But, well, I felt pretty confident in the pitch. My teammates helped me a lot. The fans were amazing today. Disappointed to not to get the 3 points, but I think the team did an amazing job today.
And to get your first goal, we've been talking about the team you've come into with the best set-piece record. I mean, the delivery of Declan Rice for your goal. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's an amazing ball. Declan has an incredible touch. We pride ourselves on training a lot, set pieces. We have an amazing team in the physical aspect, and we train a lot. So it's always great to see that the thing to train in the training camp, in the training ground, sometimes works on the pitch, and that obviously encourages you to keep training and to put more effort on it.
Mikel, Steve McManaman here. Congratulations today. What a year winning the European Championships as well in the summer. How are you finding the adaptation? How are you finding life in London? Is it similar to Sociedad?
Well, it's similar because it rains a lot.
It rains a lot,
But some differences in the tactical aspect. Obviously, this is a massive city, London, a massive club. You don't realise how big this club is until you're here. Not the best start for me with the injury in the scapula, a couple of problems there. But obviously trying to bounce back, now starting to feel my legs again, trying to learn the tactics and the new system. And I think, everybody has been so good to me, trying to learn, trying to teach me, being very patient with me. So just really, really happy with the adaptation at the club. This is the perfect place for me for sure.
Nice.
Fantastic. Mikel, hi, it's Alan Shearer. We all felt here today that a draw was probably a fair result. What do you think?
Obviously, I think it is a tough game to win today. We have similar options to score. I think our team in general, when we were playing the football we know how to play, we were superior and we had the tempo of the game. But obviously, when we started like doing things that we normally don't do, things started to change. It was a really competitive game. When we were at our best, I think we were better. So you could say it's a fair result, but for me, we should have won this game. It's 1 point, but I think we have to be disappointed because we wanted the 3 points, and we have to aim for that for the next time.
Nice. And just finally, Mikel, you're talking about settling in there. I wonder what you found about the intensity of one of the biggest Premier League fixtures, Liverpool, Arsenal, down the years today to play in. Yeah, Premier League is amazing. The pace, the strength of the players, the rhythm that the game has. You need some time to adapt to it. It's pretty different to what we experience in La Liga, with more time on the ball, with more tactical maybe style of game. Both, no? You have a little bit of tactical as well, but when you have duels, you have here the best players in the world. Physicality is key, and you have to be 100% to win every duel, because at the same time you lose a duel, it's a transition. In the transition you have 1v1s, you have Salah, you have Darwin, you have Diaz running in your back, and it's always tough. So every game is about details, and if you lose one duel, can be the difference between winning the game or not. So yeah, Premier League is unbelievable, and you have to adapt to it.
Nice.
Well done today. I was about to wish you good luck for the week, but Alan told me not to because it's St James's Park next, isn't it? So back to your old club.
He knows about that.
Yeah, I know how it feels, and I'm really looking forward to go back home and see a couple of friends, feel again the atmosphere at St James's Park. I have really good memories from my time there, and just hoping to go there and enjoy for sure.
Nice.
Well done today.
Beautiful.
Congratulations on your goal. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You had to show off your bit.
It's the only way to know.
Right, more reaction on the way. Here's the Arsenal boss, Mikel Arteta.
Mikel, how has all that left you feeling? I guess you've been through a real range of emotions today.
Yeah, very proud of the team for different reasons. The first one because the courage, the quality, the domination, the absolute game that we wanted to play, especially in the first half, and the score should have been even bigger in my opinion. So big chances. Then it's true that we had to make changes. They came out a little bit. We didn't have enough courage to play in the first phase more than we should have done. And there are certain very particular moments as well that I think dictates the results.
So does all the context, all the circumstances around this, the missing players, make you even more proud of your players, the ones that were out there?
Even like this, we deserve to win the game, and I think we were the better team, and we didn't. So obviously there are learnings to take from that, especially where we concede both goals. The second one, the transition moment, we have to end up in the final third with a chance to set there, and 10 seconds later we are 2v1 inside our own box at this level against this team. Obviously, you cannot give that away.
I think everyone would agree you controlled the first half. What was the key to that?
Well, because we were very clear what we have to do, the execution, the quality that we showed, the determination, the aggression as well, without the ball to go and attack them and regain the ball straight after was really good, but probably we should lack a few moments where we should have put the ball in the net.
Yeah, but Bukayo Saka's just been out and stood where you're standing. So we didn't play for the full 90. Would you agree with that? Second half didn't match what you'd done first half?
Yeah, especially in that first phase, as I said, that we needed more courage to play like we've done in certain moments, and it's where we created big opportunities.
Do you think losing Gabriel early in that second half, on top of the players you're already out without, do you think that has a psychological effect on the guys that are out there? You become a bit more determined to hold what you've got?
I don't know, and we won't know, but that's the reality that we have at the moment, and we have to face it. That's it.
Can you update us on when you might start having players back? Let me first ask about Timber. Yeah. Did you expect him not to make the full 90?
Well, I don't know exactly what happened, but he said he cannot carry on, and Big Gabi as well, so I don't know.
You don't know how serious they are. Martin Odegaard?
As well, I think he's still a bit far.
Okay. Yeah. Let me lastly ask you, Mikel, I think Pep Guardiola said towards the start of the season, you can't win the Premier League in the first sort of 9-10 games, but you can lose it. Do you think what you're doing right now is staying in the fight?
Well, we're going to stay. We're going to try our best. And again, I think the context that we have played those 9 games, probably nobody could ever imagine that it was going to be the case. But I think the character, the personality today, the way we play today against the top team at the moment in the Premier League. It was unbelievable understanding where we are at the moment.
Okay, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Brilliant, Mikel.
With the thoughts. What did you think was brilliant?
No, I just like him. I just like everything what he's trying to do for the club. I love the way he not only protects the players, but he's a winner. He wants to win, and he will do whatever it takes to try and win. I love that about him.
He thought they were the better team today.
They were in the first half. There's no doubt about that. But I think Liverpool certainly came back into it second half. But that's fine. He's probably got his Arsenal tinted glasses on, and I expect that. And Arne Slot might come in and say the same thing. But I
feel like you talk about Newcastle, to be fair, isn't it?
Probably, yeah, absolutely, absolutely the same. Yeah. So, but I thought it was evenly matched today over the 90 minutes or 95 minutes, or whatever it was, and both teams deserved a point.
There wasn't there wasn't lots and lots of chances either way, where you could say, oh, this should have happened and that should have happened. It was a battle. And, you know, Liverpool equalised their moments. Arsenal, I didn't think Arsenal did enough in the second half. I think with people going off the field and people playing out of position, they did drop back and they allowed Liverpool to get lots of possession in the second half. I don't think Liverpool did necessarily a lot with that possession, but they certainly deserved to get back into the game, which they did. And I'm with Al. I don't think Liverpool then did enough to go on and win the game. And likewise, Arsenal almost settled for that then as well.
Yeah, but I thought that there was a spell in that second half where, you know, obviously when we've gone down to 10 men, it looked like that. It looked like, again, was
that the defensive disruption?
I think so, yeah, maybe. But, like, it looked a little bit like everybody's a little bit like, hang on, we're in the lead, let's, protect it rather than keep playing. Maybe keep playing, but then, again, I was saying I'd rather us get something out of the game, manage the game to a certain place where you're thinking we've got to get something out of the game. I thought that was pretty early in the second half where they seemed to be playing a little bit too deep.
I asked that because in the second half there, when Gabriel went off, it was the first time in 18 months Arsenal had played without both of them, Gabriel and Saliba. I just wonder psychologically, they're so important, aren't they? Whether that backs up what you're saying.
This happened right at the start of the second half.
You got to dig in the thigh there, with the knee into that little thigh there. I didn't see it at first, but then obviously he tried to run it off, but then, you know what I mean, it's causing a problem.
There was a lot of such giants, aren't they?
Yeah, and there was a lot of disruption, wasn't he? The best player to a certain extent on the pitch, Saka, he had to come off because, of course, they had to manage him. They don't want him getting injured. So they lose a little bit of impetus because every time he got the ball, he ran forward and more importantly, he never lost it. So he kept Arsenal in the game. And then you lose him and you lose Timber. So you can see why everybody's gone, wait there, let's just sit a little bit. Let's not take any chances.
But Steve, you see, we finished the game with Partey, White, Kivior and Miles Lewis-Skelly. You know what I mean? I think that's, you know, you have to take that and say, listen, let's go again next week.
No, and I think when you look at Arsenal's fixtures, I mean, it was really important that they got something out of that game today, because I think what they've got their next 6 fixtures, 5 of them are away. So that's a tough set of fixtures. That is. I mean, the League Cup they'll obviously play a reserve team, but the rest of the games, when you look at them, tough, really tough games.
OK, when we come back, we will get a Liverpool point of view and talk to the Liverpool manager, who's still...
Well, listen, Liverpool were in the title race, and I think Liverpool were top of the league. I think we're probably 6 or 7 games to go. There's still a long way to go to see if Liverpool are in that position. So I wouldn't say they're better, I'd say they're different. They're certainly better defensively when you look at the numbers sort of, you know, this season. I think Liverpool came here twice last year, once in the FA Cup. Won here, I think, 2-0, but got absolutely battered in the first half. Arsenal should have won the game. Arsenal beat them, I think, in the league 3-1. So, you know, created a lot of chances. That wasn't the sort of the game that we watched today. That's probably something a little bit around Arsenal, where they're going. We maybe get to that shortly. But from Liverpool's point of view, the big change this season is defensively. They look a solid unit. Well, I think this season they've been the best defensively in the Premier League, and that's a big difference from what we saw last season.
Do you think being better defensively, Broy, is more likely to take you to the big prizes?
Yeah, of course. Well, you have to defend properly, and you know, with people like Salah, you've always got a chance of scoring goals. And there's definitely a calmness to Liverpool, even. And obviously that comes from the manager. He speaks very well. And even when they were 2-1 down today, they didn't seem to panic. Obviously a lot of belief, and that would come from confidence of winning football matches. I know we'll argue all day about, obviously, have they been really tested yet, but they've turned up. They've had the one real big disappointment, I suppose, the Forest game, when they got beaten at home, which we know can happen if you're not at your best. But generally speaking, they look a strong, efficient team. You got world-class players like Salah, you have a chance of winning football matches. And remember, they were missing their goalkeeper, Keller's done well in the last month or two, so they've had their 1 or 2 setbacks as well with injuries themselves. We've been discussing Arsenal for last week about all their problems, but Arsenal had 1 or 2 players missing. I mean, Liverpool had 1 or 2 players missing, but they've turned up today, and again, the manager said that a couple of weeks ago, when they keep turning up. That gives you a chance to win a football matches.
I think Alex Ferguson always says you can see the personality of a manager in his team. So we saw that for 7 years with Klopp. Klopp is just this big, huge personality, energetic, and that was the team. When you see Arne Slot interviewed, it's just calm, reserved, you know, doesn't get sort of too carried away, you know, whether you're winning or losing. And as Roy just said, that you see it on the pitch. It's a lot more controlled, Liverpool, so it's not end-to-end. They're not having to deal with counter-attacks as much. And that's why they're better defensively. I don't think it's necessarily that he's a defensive manager or he's brought in better... You all right there?
Sorry, yeah.
I don't turn it on
I just wanted to ask yourself, actually, do you feel like they miss that Klopp intensity at times when they really want to go for the game? Because, like I was saying, at times they just lack that intensity. Do you think, like you say, with the calmness of Klopp?
Every manager's have to balance between the defence and attack. So that intensity that we're talking about, Jurgen Klopp, might maybe create more chances and lift the crowd more at Anfield. But what you lose is maybe going the other way. This is maybe not as much going the other way, pressing really high, winning the ball back, lifting the crowd, all the big atmosphere. But you're better defensively. Just that's what it's about trying to get the balance.
Do you think, Theo, that dressing rooms respond in a different way to those different kind of emotive managers, whether it is the sort of the tub thumping of Jurgen Klopp or the quiet calmness of Arne Slot?
Yeah, I've got to agree. The teams are a reflection of managers at times, and we're seeing a different side of Mikel Arteta in this moment in time, from an Arsenal perspective, where we want to keep hold of what we've got and be defensive-minded. And I'm just worried that we're going to lose that free-flowing sort of football that Arsenal have known for doing from the Arsene Wenger eras. And, you know, when I was playing as well, don't go away from what you're good at. And what Arsenal are good at times is dominating higher up the field. And I just don't want them to get into habits of holding on to things when they can put teams to the sword, particularly when the likes of Liverpool are challenging, because they are definitely here to stay.
I don't think they're getting into bad habits. I think that's an instruction for the manager. This has been going on now, I would say, for about 12 months. What?
We're going to come to that in a minute.
Oh, come on. Okay.
Because I want to hear from Mikel Arteta,
Sorry.
having been tested for the first time today.